Hi, my name is Nano, and today I'm interviewing
Isaac.
And Max.
and I'm going to ask them some questions about the cheerleading discourse community. The first question that I have is, what brought you into cheerleading?
So what brought me into cheerleading was I was just doing tumbling and flips just on my own, and my old cheer coach, she saw me doing flips out on the playground my freshman year, and she really wanted me to be on her team. So I joined it, and ever since then I've just always been in cheer.
Very interesting. Max?
So, I was looking for a sport in the last 2 weeks of high school, and my friend was like, hey, come join cheer. So I joined cheer. We went to state, took second place, beat Albuquerque High, and then I got a call from the UNM coach, and she asked me to come try out, and now I'm here.
Good to know. Okay, and has being in cheer impacted your life in a negative or a positive manner?
Definitely a positive manner, to where it's making me have to organize a lot more, and since there's a lot going on with cheer, and physical condition is pretty much at my peak always now because of cheer, because you just have to be, you got to get your rest, you got to work out, get stronger, everything like that. So definitely a positive manner.
Good to know. Max?
All right, so, cheer for me is definitely a positive thing. The reason I say that is because I've always been involved when I went to school. Always been involved in extracurriculars, and this is just another extracurricular. It just helps me, stay on what I'm supposed to be doing, stay on my homework. I feel like I can be more accomplished, I get more done being part of this sport.
Okay. And do you think being in cheer has helped you create relationships?
Definitely. Being in cheer literally was my basis of going to UNM. It literally built my social group now that I have, and cheer has heavily influenced that, just by meeting all the new people on the team, and then they let me meet their people, so then I just keep meeting more people throughout the line, and it's a blessing, actually.
So, cheer, I've met so many new people, right? Made so many new relationships. It's a really nice I guess. But most of all, the best thing I like about it is I get to schmooze with the higher-ups of UNM. For example, last night, when we were at the gala, I was talking to some pretty important people, the owners of Frontier, another guy who's who worked closely with President Stokes, he told me. So, just some pretty interesting people to meet.
That's very interesting. And the final question I have written down here are, what are your goals moving forward with cheer?
My goals, one day I want to go to a different school, a more pristine cheer school where a lot of good people go. So that's one of my goals, and also just becoming my best, coming as strong as possible, getting the best stunts I can possibly do, getting the best tumbling I can possibly do. That's always my goal.
All right, I'm gonna be honest. My goal since I joined cheer was to travel. Okay, so my next goal right now is to try to go to the next traveling game, Boise State. After that, I want to go win nationals. I was in my high school. We were West Mesa. We never won a lot. So, now that I'm part of a Division I college and going to something like nationals, competing against all the schools in the country, of course I want to be my best, and we have to be the best we can be. So that's one of my main goals, is to be able to do good in nationals and place.
Good to know. Now, there's a couple of controversies surrounding cheer, and the first being that whether or not it's a sport. Could I hear your opinion on that?
Cheer is definitely a sport, and it's just so like interactive and very, very physically taxing, to where it would be a shame if you wouldn't call it a sport, you know? So it's definitely a sport. It's a really hard sport as well.
Nice point of view.
Well, you know, the definition of a sport is involving physical exertion and skill for an individual or a team, right? So, you know, we literally throw humans above us. Like, the guy who's interviewing me, Nano, can throw a girl, like, all the way up to where he's fully extended, catch her feet with one arm. If you don't call that a sport, I mean, what is? For real. I mean, come on. I mean, we get hurt. We literally got to throw people up. We have to do flips. It may not be, you know, we may not have a ball involved, like football or volleyball, but we are definitely, you know, we definitely do a lot of physical exertion and physical activity.
Very good points of view. Now I want to talk about some discourse specific terms. You know, earlier on in the interview, Isaac, you talked about tumbling. Could you explain some tumbling to people that aren't in the cheer community and what it is and what it does?
So tumbling is more of like the flipping and like the tumbling, flipping side of cheer, where it's like where you do like a round off back handspring to a backflip where you do a 360 twist when you're fully just laid out. Or you can do a double spin, or you can do a double backflip if you're really good. And tumbling is actually really hard to learn, and it's a very, very rewarding skill.
Yeah.
Whenever you can have it and you actually can do a tuck or a full twisting layout, it's very rewarding, and
it's
like
like
it.
it's like that's something that you have to be in the community to really know about.
Yeah, definitely. You have to to know like the cheer term for like a tumbling pass. Like if I say a round off back handspring full, most people probably don't know what that is, you know?
Yeah.
So it's very cheer oriented talk.
Yeah. And then Max, you talked about, you know, throwing up a girl and catching her with one hand. Could you explain some of the more stunting side of cheerleading and what that is?
So yeah, you know, stunting is definitely the more I'd say more physical side of cheer, right? So, you know, you throw a girl up, and first thing you learn is to toss hands. Toss her up to your hands, and from there you can do a bunch of basic moves such as, you know, a lib, a QP, stuff like that. And after that, you know, you have your more advanced skills. You know, you have full ups, right, where they do a 360 in the air and you have to catch them with your arms fully extended all the way to the top, right? So I mean, like, these girls, they're like flying what 8 feet in the air. Like, I mean, it's pretty, you know, like scary if you think about it, right? Because I mean, even if those girls come down, and then you got to catch them, right? Because they're not gonna be able just to hit the floor and survive, like, or not survive. I guess it's
very, very physical.
Yeah.
No, and that is a good point, because I remember seeing a statistic about how cheerleading is the most concussion inclusive sport, and actually is the sport that leads to the most people dying due to the sport. Well, thank you guys for your time. Very interesting point of views. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, thank you, Nano.
Thanks, Nano. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you guys.